guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Well, I'm here today with week number 3 of my 12 weeks of Fall and Halloween 2020. I really like how this turned out. It's a cute little Nugget candy bar treat pouch. And you can just put your little nugget inside and hand it to somebody, and I think they'll think it's extra special. And of course, I had to use that metallic mesh again. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to make it with me, you can find the dimensions for this little treat pouch and the supply list by clicking the blog post link below in the video description. And then you can pause the video, go get your supplies together, and come back and make it with me. Okay, I'm really excited about doing this, making this with you today. And don't forget to redeem those bonus day coupons. Don't you forget that. You've only got till August 31st, 2020 to do that. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first off, you need a scrap piece of Whisper White. And we're going to be using the Have a Hoot Bundle. Let me show you that real quick. Such a cute set. I love this. And I love how it covers Halloween, Christmas, just a lot of different fall, a lot of different things you can do with this. Okay, now the dies I'm going to be using this big guy. And this actually makes 3 different tags and openings in a card. And this one and the web. That's all we'll need for this little treat pouch. And like I said, you want to have a Whisper White piece, scrap that's big enough to take this little guy. So I'm going to take my Memento ink pad, ink it up really well, and just stamp it here near the middle. Like I said, we're going to die cut this, so it doesn't have to be perfect on the placement. Let that ink dry a little bit. I'm going to watercolor this time instead of using the blends like I usually do, because I wanted, this just looks a little neater with the watercolor look. So I'm going to grab my Pumpkin Pie ink pad, my Daffodil Delight ink pad, and my Cinnamon Cider ink pad. Let's go ahead and start with a pumpkin. Whenever you watercolor with our ink pads, you want to squeeze the lid and the bottom of this together. You open it up and it makes a little pool inside. Now I'm going to use a blender pen because this is Whisper White cardstock, and I don't want to use my new water painters because you need to have more like watercolor paper or the shimmery white paper for it to work, because it's going to start falling apart on you with just Whisper White. So the blender pen, if you don't get it too wet, it's going to do just fine. And that's the reason I also use the Memento pad instead of the Stays On. Since I'm using the blender pen and I'm not going to do a lot of blending, I don't have to worry about it bleeding, the ink, black ink bleeding. So I'm going to go ahead and put a nice base coat of the pumpkin pie. And as you can see, I am intentionally leaving little white spaces. That gives you that neat watercolor effect. And it also gives it more of a whimsical look, I think. So I can get that all colored in. This is why I decided to do this instead of using the blends. Because the blends, you can't get the whimsical look, really. I really like that a lot. So we've got some of the white. Now, normally the veins, or whatever you want to call those, in the pumpkin are a little darker. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little more pumpkin to where I want it to be dark. Just keep going like that. Might have to squeeze that again. I'm running out of ink. There we go. That should be good. So there's the pumpkin. You want to take a scrap piece of paper. Let me grab this quick. And make sure you get all of that ink off. Now it's clear. You can see this pumpkin when I first started, then it went clear. Now we're going to grab the Daffodil Delight, do the same thing with it, squeeze it, get a nice pool. Ooh, that one made a really good pool. Pick a little bit of that up, and we're going to color in the eyes and his mouth and his nose, because we want it to look like there's a candle inside there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Once again, I'm leaving a little bit of the white. This just makes him look more like a drawing. That's what I was trying to think of. Like, sometimes I can't think of my words. So now we've got that done. Now we're going to bring in the Cinnamon Cider. Squeeze that. You can see this doesn't take long at all to color in. I'm not even going to bother to fast forward through this one because it goes so fast. I'm going to do the Cinnamon Cider with the stem too. Get him all colored in. I'm just going to leave his eyes white. I'm going to add a little more here, make him a little bit darker. There we go. Now he's all set to go. So we've got all the watercoloring done, and now we're going to get ready to do some die cutting. Already brought in my cut and emboss machine. We want to grab the plate number 1, plate number 2, and then plate number 3. And this is not available to purchase yet, but it will be very soon. As a demonstrator, I was able to get it early, so if you are interested in getting things early, you really might want to join my team. I love getting things early and at a discount all the time. So if you're interested in that, make sure you click on the Join My Team link below. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on. And because I don't have the magnetic platform yet, that will be available when customers can purchase, and that'll be September 1st. So I'll be placing that order right away, because I definitely want that magnetic platform, because I'm getting tired of using the washi tape. Okay, we also need a piece of, just a scrap piece of the silver foil. And we're going to use the cobweb for that one. And let me grab another plate number 3. It's also called a standard cutting plate. Put that on top, and we'll run this through. I'm going to run it through a couple times just because that web has a little more to cut, just to be on the safe side. Okay, we'll kind of move those over. Take off that tape very carefully. There we go. Put that over to the side, throw that in my trash here. And I'll show you how easy it is to get all those little pieces out. As you can see, some of them already come out, so kind of knock those off into my little dish. And now we're going to take a piece of the Plaid Tidings DSP. It's 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this big guy. Now I only want to use this one right here. I don't want to use these, just this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line this up here. And as you can see, there's a little space right here. So I'm kind of lining the bottom of that paper up with that. So I know I'm going to get the whole tag, and I won't be getting this tag. So let me get that straight again. I kind of moved it when I took my hand off. Put this on top. Get it going. And then we've got one more to do, because you're going to need 2 of them. And I love the stitching on that, and it makes a little bitty hole right there too. So you've got a little tag. So we're going to go ahead and run this through again. I'm going to put this one. Put it here just near the top, that's fine. Put my cutting plate back on top again. Run it through. And this is going to be all the die cutting we need to do. There we go. So we've got our 2 tags, so we can put that away. And we'll get ready to put this puppy together. Okay, now here's the cobweb. You can see there's still some pieces in there. They are so easy. I'm going to put it right over here in my little plate. I'm just taking my thumb and scraping across it, and most of them, as you can see, are coming out really fast. Now there are a few that are real small, and I probably will go ahead and have to get my take your pick tool, but they come out so quick. Looks like I only have a couple to take out. So I love our dies. They cut so well now. I remember the days when we used to have to poke so many different things to get it out. That was super easy to do. So now we've got the web ready, and go ahead and throw this away. And then we've got our 2 tags with the stitching that goes around it. I love that plaid paper. Isn't that cool? Okay, now we need a piece of smoky slate. I'm going to move these over to the side. And I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. And we're going to do some scoring. This piece is 2 inches by 1 3/4, and with a 2 inches side along the top and bottom. I want to score at 1/2 inch on both sides. So on this one, this is the 1/2 inch mark right here. First off, I want to get that cutting blade out of the way. The scoring tool is the light colored blade. Do that a couple times. Get it lined up again, 1/2 inch on the other side. And now we've got our 2 score lines. So that's all the scoring you have to do on this. We'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and burnish these. Get those. And then we're just going to put this together. It is so easy. And of course, we got to do the nugget. And I did forget, we're going to do a little boo. So grab a scrap piece of rich raspberry, the boo stamp, and then the Memento Tuxedo Black. Almost forgot, got a little tongue-tied there. There we go. And we're just going to fussy cut this out. It doesn't take long. It's super easy to cut out. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. So don't think, oh no, I hate cutting. I can't cut in a straight line. I can't either. but just this little bitty word is super easy to cut out, and it looks super cute when you're done. So no worries. So there we've got our little boo. Get all these scraps out of the way. Now we're going to take, let me go grab my silicone craft mat. I'm going to lay this flat. I'm going to take my Seal Plus. Now you can use the regular seal too, but this one I want it to be a little stronger. And as you can see, this is going to line up like so. So you're still going to see some of the smoky slate. The reason I picked smoky slate, I thought it didn't show up quite as much. You could use black too, but I wanted it to be a little lighter so it matched kind of the background of the designer paper. So I don't want to have a lot of adhesive coming off the edges here. So I'm just going to put a strip right across here. And I'm going to stop and not go that too far, because the one thing about this new seal, it'll make a nice little glue thing sticking out, and I don't want that this time. So I'm going to make sure I stop. So now you can see you can't see any of the glue. Then you're going to line it up so the bottom is lined up with the score line and the sides are lined up with the sides of the piece, the smoky slate piece. So you just do it just like that. We're going to do the same thing with the other side. So you could whip these out really fast. No problems at all. So see, once again, I made sure I didn't put any past there. Just one strip across the bottom. Line that up with a score line. There we go. And now we've got the base of it. Isn't that cute? Okay, now while it's still flat, let's grab our little owl with his pumpkin and our cobwebs and our boo. I'm going to put this on with dimensionals, and because this is black, I'm going to use my black dimensionals. So this guy's kind of small enough, you don't need to do 3, but I'm going to do 2 and kind of have them be at a diagonal. 1 wouldn't be enough because it would definitely wobble, but putting them at a diagonal like that, it's going to stay on and not wobble at all. So I'm going to leave that kind of over here at the side for a minute, because first I'm going to put this guy on, and I decided I just put one glue dot right here in the middle. You could put a little bit more on the bottom left if you want to, because you're going to be covering it up a little bit with this guy. I found just putting a glue dot right there in the middle works just fine. And if the glue dot shows just a little bit, don't worry about it, because we're going to be covering that up with our boo. So we've got the web on there. I'm going to put him over on like on a little bit of an angle, and I still want him to kind of hang over the side here. Definitely not off the bottom, but off the side it looks cute. So kind of do that at an angle. And then the boo, because it's so small, you could use the seal again. I'm just going to take a couple glue dots here and stick him on right there. So now we've got it all decorated. This seal works so good. I'm going to put a strip across here and stick my little Nugget candy bar on there so it doesn't come out. And then, like I said at the beginning, I just had to use this metallic mesh. I love this stuff. I can't wait to do it on something other than Halloween. So far, that's all I've used it for. But it is so pretty. What you do, since it's extra wide and it is so easy to work with, just fold it into fourths so it's thinner and stick it through that slot. It goes through really easy. You might need to fold it up again once you get it through the first time. Make it small again and get it to go through the second one. Oops, I didn't get a hold of it very well. Oops, my goodness. My fingers aren't working today. There we go. Now I'm just gonna take enough off and then kind of lay this down so you can see a little better. Kind of bring it down, don't quite need that much. We're just gonna tie a knot. I'm not gonna bother with a bow. I think it looks just as good with a single knot. There, see, doesn't that look cool? I just love this stuff. Now I'm going to grab my scissors, cut a strip off here. This one's still a little long, so I might go ahead and trim off a little bit until they look pretty even. And that is it. Now, isn't that quick? I just love this. It is so cute. It's just a really neat way to decorate those little Hershey nuggets you've got in your stash. And you don't have to use the Halloween ones. Right now I couldn't find Halloween candy, so I just used my silver ones that I had in my stash. And they look just fine with them. They actually go along with the little web there. Well, that's the end of week 3 for my 12 weeks of Fall and Halloween. Hope you enjoyed it. This one's probably the fastest one so far. And I I do want to make them extra special, but they don't always have to take a long time, because sometimes you want to be able to whip out a bunch of things, and these you could whip out really fast. Really love this, and you can use any of the other Plaid Tidings paper. It doesn't have to be this one. Well, I hope you had fun, and if you did and want to join me again in one of my videos, please subscribe to my channel below, and make sure you click on that bell icon that'll pop up after you hit the subscribe button and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video. And if you want to see more of my creations or see more pictures and close-ups of my projects, you can follow me on my blog, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, and you can find the links to those below in the video description. Now, if you live in the United States and do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. And if you'd like a catalog mailed to you, click on the Contact Me link below in the description. And don't forget, I have a $50 shopping spree that you can earn by ordering from me. Just click the Dolly Rewards link below in the video description. Let's bring this cute little nugget pouch out again. Well, it's time to go, and I can't wait to see you again next week. And I'll be doing some more videos between now and next Tuesday, but these are always posted Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope you can join me again next week. Please support my channel by giving me a thumbs up and commenting below. I really do appreciate it. See you in the next video.